Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE NXT on March the 1st, 2017. And well, this entire show was built around the championship matches because of the fact that you had two of them. The women's title and the tag team titles were on the line for the night. But before we get into that, they had a few extra things before they really got into the title matches. One, they had a match, a rather quick match with Patrick Clark and Sean Maluta. Patrick Clark playing off of his Prince type character, and I actually kind of I like the way he comes off in his mannerisms and his in ring. He's doing really well in that aspect of it. It's just hard to tell whether or not he's a face or a heel at this time. And the more we see him, the more you're going to kind of figure it out, because Sean Maluta was part of the Cruiserweight Classic as well, and I think he played like double as like a face and as like a heel at one point in time inside of the Cruiserweight Classic. I am not 100% certain on that one, but it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to do with Patrick Clark down the road. I think the one time that we did see him, he was kind of heelish. He was going after Shinsuke Nakamura the one time as a distraction to I think Samoa Joe or something like that. So that would kind of make him a heel at this point, but you don't have that fully solidified yet. So if they want to try to make him a face, they can definitely go off and do that here. They do have Patrick Clark go over in this match. It was a fine match. It was a rather quick match. It wasn't anything special by any stretch of the imagination, but it will definitely be interesting to see where they go with Patrick Clark down the line. I kind of like what they have with the character there. He comes off as a bit flamboyant, but he also comes out in like Prince attire and everything. I just like where they're going with this. It'll just be interesting to see how they decide to play him off, whether they play him off as like a heel or as a face, or what they're going to go off with here. You can't necessarily tell in this particular case. So up next was actually a promo with Sanity, and they were basically talking about Ty Dillinger and everything in this aspect of I like this promo on the aspect is like Sanity's like sitting over like a burning a fire barrel, and they're on the outside, like they're outside the arena or they're somewhere in the woods or something in that sense, and they're just cutting this promo on the aspect of Ty Dillinger's like a kind of like a dead man walking, and instead of just doing this on his own, he brings his friends to go along with it. And you even get this aspect of Sanity or Eric Young trying to wanting to have or not trying to, but wanting to get Ty Dillinger by himself, just them two or anything in that sense. And then you had like words from Nikki Cross saying, "It's like, well, if that doesn't happen, then we'll just have to use the entire world," or something to go along with it. I like this promo. These guys come off eerie, creepy. And this was a different facet than what you typically see from them. They seemed more in control of everything. They weren't like completely utterly insane like they had been doing at the other time. So it'll be interesting if they decide to go about a different route with Sanity in the terms of their mannerisms or anything like that. But I doubt they'll fully change them. But you had like a different tone to Sanity this week. It ended up being really nice. So this leads into the women's title match, Peyton Royce versus Asuka. This match was actually quite good. The one thing that they've yet to really do, at least with any of the other competitors, and you can definitely tell in the crowd reaction of this match, making it fully believable that Asuka's opponent can win. Like they had Peyton Royce on the offense for a good chunk of the time, and Asuka selling pretty hard, but the crowd never really fully believes that Asuka's going to be beaten by Peyton Royce. Maybe it's on the aspect that it's like on the NXT show, it's not on a takeover special or something in that sense, where they feel like Asuka's first loss would come to go along with it. But the two of them went out there and they worked a pretty damn good match. I did actually enjoy it, and I like the aspect of Peyton Royce working over Asuka's shoulder throughout the entire match, and Asuka was selling it for a good chunk of the match, but still gets the win with the Asuka lock in the end. And I do like the aspect. Also, it wasn't like, oh, she just locks in the Asuka lock and it's done. No, she had to fight to get the Asuka lock in, because like Peyton Royce almost gets out of it, but then Asuka locks it in fully. But overall, good match. I thought it was a good match between the two of them, and it came off rather well. Billie Kay attacks Asuka at the end, after the match. It looks like they were trying to set up something where they would injure Asuka's shoulder or arm or something like that. They were putting it up against the ring post, and Ember Moon is the one that comes down and makes the save. She lays out Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, and it eventually leads to Asuka and Ember Moon staring down, where you have Asuka holding the title over Ember Moon, and of course the crowd starts chanting yes, 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 because they want this match. This is a match that they've been kind of promoting for a good chunk of time, or not really promoting, but like the fans have been kind of anticipating this match to happen for a period of time, and it looks like we're going to finally be getting it, and it looks like that's what they're going to be leading to into the next NXT TakeOver, which is on WrestleMania weekend. So it looks like that's the route they're going, but we'll see where they go with everything. They might go a different route, but I feel like we're going to be getting the whole Ember Moon Asuka thing, especially with the stare down at the end of everything after Ember Moon comes down for the save. Up next, they actually had a quick overview of what happened last week with the whole Bobby Roode and Cassius Ohno moment, and Cassius Ohno making his return, saving No Way Jose from what Bobby Roode was doing after the match. The brawl that ensues afterwards, and then it leads to William Regal making a match with Cassius Ohno and Bobby Roode for the NXT title on March 15th. So in a few weeks, and it's definitely an interesting aspect of everything, because we haven't, like, there's a lot of people that know Cassius Ohno, aka Chris Hero, from the indies and know what he can do and everything in that sense, but there's a lot of people that would watch WWE and don't, even with some of the, you would assume with some of the NXT crowd as well, they're not too in tone with the with the independents, with the independent promotions, and they might not even know who this guy is. And the factor that the last time that he was in NXT was before the network was even airing anything, so the only way US side that you could actually watch NXT, I know there was probably a few people that actually did, I did for a little while, was on Hulu itself. The only way you could really watch was on Hulu, or being able to torrent it, because they did still have a TV deal in international markets on normal television, but they only could show it, or the only way that they showed it in the US at that time before the network was on Hulu. And not too many people might have even known about that for a good chunk of time. But so it does come off as a little weird for Cassius Ohno to all of a sudden just get a title match. Though I do like it in the aspect of his promo last week, he kind of explains, like, hey, I was here before and I have unfinished business and I want the NXT title. So I do get that aspect of it, and I do like the certain aspects of him getting to the NXT title match, but you would assume that they probably won't put the title on him so quickly. Maybe somewhere down the line or something like that, but I'm not 100% certain. This leads to the final match of the night, the main event of the night, which was the Authors of Pain versus DIY. Again, just like the San Antonio match, this match was not as good as the San Antonio match, but then again, they had a different, they had a completely different finish than the San Antonio match did in any way. So it's kind of hard to say, like, oh, this was a bad match. It wasn't a bad match. This was a good match. It just wasn't as good as their San Antonio one. And it ends with DIY getting the victory because the Revival come out and they attack DIY and basically leave both teams lying. So they're definitely setting this up as a full-on triple threat match for the you would have to assume a triple threat for the tag titles at the next takeover because, well, DIY still doesn't have like a definitive end to their feud with the Authors of Pain. The Revival have issue with both DIY and the Revival now, and I like the aspect of the Revival laying out both teams. Like, it's not an aspect is like, oh, we're just going after DIY because we're the heels and they're the faces. No, they go after the heels too in here because they want their tag titles back. And it just came off like I liked the finish of the match. I was okay with the aspect of a DQ finish in this one, and it sets up for what I would assume to be a very good triple threat match for the next NXT takeover. So we'll see how everything goes there. Overall, this was actually a rather good NXT this week. Good promos, good setup, two good matches, two really good matches with Asuka and Peyton Royce, and the DIY and the Authors of Pain, even though with a DQ finish, it still came off rather good. I liked it and was rather enjoyable. So we'll see where they go with everything, and they're definitely, I think they're in the UFC, not UFC, but UCF, the Central Florida arena for the rest of the NXT's leading on the takeover. So definitely bigger arena for them to be in. They did this last year too. They went to the UCF arena last year as well to kind of set up a bigger environment going into a WrestleMania weekend takeover. So it'll be interesting to see how everything comes off going into the next takeover special, and we'll see where they go with everything. And that is my review this week for WWE NXT. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day.